It's time, right, to get started. This is my third Facebook Live, and this is lots of fun. It's kind of cool how you come right into my house and you're with me in the kitchen as I'm making dinner. But anyway, this is a really cool thing that Costco is carrying my new Eat to Live Quick and Easy cookbook, and they have a special version with like some extra recipes in it. It's so cool, my book's actually going to be in Costco. Isn't that cool? But anyway, I'm here today to discuss some things I keep in my kitchen, things I use all the time for general recipes, to share with you some of my basic secrets of healthy cooking, things that you'll get some, a head start before you even read the books. So one thing I keep in the kitchen all the time is something I can quickly turn into a dressing or a sauce or or to put on bread to make a sandwich or a pita pocket, and that's what I call garlic nutter. It's really simple. I just take some cashews, some raw cashews, and I blend it in the blender with some roasted garlic. So here I have a full bowl of garlic that I roast in the oven at 350 for 20 minutes. So you can see it's already soft and roasted. I just cut open the garlic. In this case, I'm just going to cut it right in half. It's already been roasted, and you can see how soft it's inside. Now I can squeeze the garlic out and squeeze it right into the Vitamix. So here I'm going to squeeze out the garlic. And it pops right out. You see how it's popping right out of there? Isn't that cool? It's like giving birth to a baby. It just pops right out. I love when things pop out like that. Too bad I don't have a live audience. Nobody will laugh at my jokes. It's kind of dull to just tell a joke and it goes over like a dud because nobody's here except me. But anyway, now I'm pushing out the garlic, and there it comes, like toothpaste, right? Into my blender, all that nice roasted garlic. Boy, is that stuff valuable. Okay, so I got my garlic in the blender. I throw in a little bit of raw cashews. Now what I do is I try to balance the cashews with some omega, because cashews are mostly omega-6 fatty acids. So I want to balance them with a little bit of a high omega-3 fatty acid like walnut or hemp seeds. And in this case, I'm going to throw in some hemp seeds. Here they are, right here. I'm going to put some hemp seeds into my garlic nutter, so it's not just all cashew, it's a mix of cashew and hemp. I'll throw in a little bit of unsweetened soy milk or hemp milk. Here I have some unsweetened hemp milk I'm going to throw in there. Just enough so you don't cover it to the top because you want it thick and creamy, but just enough so it blends and it's ready to go. But I usually add some nutritional yeast. Here I have some nutritional yeast, and don't forget this nutritional yeast is non-fortified because we don't want to be taking folic acid. So I'm going to put some nutritional yeast in there too. Ready to go. Blend that up. Have my garlic nutter. It comes out like a smooth, creamy butter, which I can store in the refrigerator. And if I want to turn it into a mustard Dijon, I can just add a little bit of like Dijon mustard to it. I got a mustard Dijon dressing. I want to turn it into a pesto to make for a sandwich. Maybe put some something like dehydrated bacon mushrooms, mushroom bacon. I dehydrate mushrooms that are soaked in balsamic vinegar with a little sauce, and I dehydrate them, put them in a sandwich with some lettuce and tomato and red onion and a little bit of this pesto garlic nutter. So I have some fresh basil. I'm going to strip the fresh basil, put it right into and I usually going to mix it with the garlic nutter that's already made, and then I'm going to make a pesto. So I could turn this garlic nutter into loads of different dressings. I can even make a quick dressing for a salad or for a dish just by taking some tomato paste. And here I have an organic, unsalted tomato paste, and I could mash into it with a fork a little bit of almond butter and a little bit of vinegar. And I use usually a tomato base with a dark vinegar, like black fig vinegar, to make a quick dressing and just mash up with a fork. So the garlic nutter could mutate into a lot of different uses, and you can just keep it straight. It's great to just eat straight and to put on vegetables and such. Okay, next, another thing I often do for treats, and that the kids have eaten growing up, is like they love apple pie, and especially apple pie a la mode. So I keep those ingredients. So I make it's like the way I make a baked apple. So it's really quick. And notice I'll mix the apple pie with some currants, and here's currants. And you notice the currants are like little baby raisins, and here's raisins, which are bigger than the currants, right? But I prefer to use currants than raisins because the currants disperse the flavor more evenly through the dish, and I'll add currants to soups. I'll add currants to vegetable dishes, sweet and sour cabbage, onion dishes. You can add currants to a little bit of sourness of vinegar with a little currant added. It's a great ingredient to add in multiple dishes, so we always keep a lot of currants in our house. But in this case, I'm going to make a quick apple pie a la mode. So here I have a pot. I'm going to make this apple pie in 5 minutes. In the pot I have a 1/4 inch of water, just a little water in the pot. I'm going to cut the apple up. So here I'm going to slice the apple. I'll take the core out, be quick, and then I'll cut the apple into chunks. And the first thing I'm doing is going to put some currants in the bottom of my pot. So the currants are soaking in the water. I'm going to lay, so when they start to cook, and then I'll put the apple, the chopped apple, on top of the currants. So they're going to steam in the water. The apple isn't in the water, it's steaming on top of the water, but the currants are in the water getting softened when I put the water on. And now I'm going to get that cooking for a few minutes. Just a little bit of water, like 1/8 of an inch, to just barely cover the currants. Then I'm going to put in some chopped walnuts. In this case, the walnuts aren't chopped, and I've already dirtied my Vitamix already. I can get a new, so I'm just going to throw them in the Vitamix just for a few quick pulses to chop them up, to chop up the walnuts. That'll probably be the way I would do it. I'll just chop them up a little bit. And I'll throw my chopped walnuts in there. Just a touch of ground flaxseed, and a nice big, maybe a little nutmeg, but here I'm going to put some Ceylon cinnamon. And this Ceylon cinnamon, of course, is the best type of cinnamon over the cassia cinnamon. It's a healthier type of cinnamon. So there I'm going to stew this on a flame for 5 minutes. Put that up there. I'm not going to turn it on now, but you can see how easy to make the apple pie. And then I'll get get ready to make the ice cream for it, the vanilla ice cream on top. And I call it vanilla nice cream. Not ice cream, but nice cream. Because I take 2 frozen bananas in the Vitamix with a few macadamia nuts, or you could use unsweetened coconut flakes. Here I have just a few macadamia nuts to give it that creamy mouthfeel. And then the secret ingredient here's the secret ingredient of the best vanilla ice cream you've ever tasted, is this vanilla bean powder. Here's another brand of vanilla bean powder. This says ground Tahitian vanilla. In other words, these are just vanilla beans that are ground up. No artificial ingredients, no alcohol, no bad ingredients. They're really good for you too, because it's a high nutrient food. So I'm going to add some of that vanilla bean powder with the macadamia nuts, or the or walnuts, or coconut flakes. Whip up that ice cream. Serve that stewed apple mixture with the cinnamon and the currants on a dish with a couple of spoonfuls of ice cream on top. You have a great healthy apple pie that's so healthy you can eat it for breakfast. You know, it's just fantastic. And you know, these are what macadamia nuts look like, but here's what they look like when you buy them in the shell. You see how they're not opened yet. See the difference? Now I like to buy them like this because they have more flavor when you crack them fresh. So what I do is, can you see that? What I do is, I'll take this and put it in a thick plastic bag, like a Ziploc bag. I'll put a bunch of these in the bag, lay it flat on the floor of my garage or out in the driveway, and you'll take a hammer, a regular ordinary hammer to drive nails in, and you just give each top of the nut a crack. Bang, 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 bang. Fill up the whole plastic bag, and the plastic bag prevents it from shattering all over the garage or running away all over the place, and you crack open a fresh macadamia nut. You never taste anything so good, with incredible flavor, because the shell keeps them fresh and keeps the sweetness and the flavor intact. So great when you make an ice cream. All right, so we did the garlic nutter. Here I have some ground chia seeds and ground flax seeds that I keep in the house all the time to use for breakfasts. And here's chia seeds that are not ground. We also keep chia seeds that are not ground that we can soak overnight and make puddings out of it. So we have both those ingredients in the house. And we always keep, I always get organic lemons. Like, actually, this organic lemon, believe it or not, I didn't buy. I grew it in my little greenhouse I have. It's actually a half-foot organic lemon. But the point is that the skin of lemon and organic oranges and lemons are super powerful phytochemicals that protect against skin cancer. It's called lemonine. And we want to use this lemon zest. In other words, we want to scrape off the outer portion of the lemon, which isn't bitter. Only use an organic lemon for this. There's no chemicals or wax on the skin. We want to scrape off and use the outer part of that lemon in lots of our ice creams, in our sauces, in our dressings. One of my favorite dressings is an orange lemon sesame dressing, and I'll take off maybe I'll squeeze a little lemon juice in there, but I want to put some of that lemon skin in there, that lemon zest. See the zest of the lemon? Into that dressing, to add that lemonine, to add those incredible phytochemicals. And this the lemon skin, really has a good flavor. It adds a great flavor to the dishes. All right, moving on. Another basic of nutritarian cooking is to make stir fries and to make vegetable dishes. broccoli, string beans, zucchini, artichokes. And here is a typical dish we'll make all the time. It's usually little pieces of broccoli, but here instead of broccoli tonight I have chopped bok choy. I add some little baby corn, mushrooms. This is sliced, what is this? This is sliced, oh, these are sliced cremini mushrooms, and scallions, snow pea pods, chopped carrots, and here I'm going to shred a little turmeric into the dish too. I'm going to shred a little fresh turmeric into the dish. But in any case, we want to make some quick sauces. I can just take the vegetables, throw them into a wok, and here's a nice, a good wokking pan. I can make a vegetable dish just in a few minutes. One of my favorite ways to make a quick vegetable stir fry is I'll put a couple of tablespoons, turn on the flame here, put a little water in the bottom of that wok. That was a quarter cup of water. Add my vegetables, that starts to cook. Put the mushrooms at the base there, the chopped bok choy on top. And you can do this so quick. You just add everything in there. You can throw a cover on there for a few minutes so it starts to steam by itself. And while that's steaming and cooking, to make my dinner really fast, I'll make the sauce. One way I can make a quick sauce is with this really incredible product that's called lemongrass paste, stirring paste. It's a new product. We used to have to soak lemongrass and put it in and remove the rough part. Now we have a lemongrass paste. You just open some of that lemongrass paste, put it into a dish. But in this case, I would put it into the Vitamix or mash it with a fork. But I'm going to take a soaked medjool dates. I always keep medjool dates in my house. Here I have some of this date coconut roll I can use. It's very soft. It's already soaked. So I can take this, makes it nice and creamy. So I'm going to get another Vitamix. Excuse me a second. Take a Vitamix container. So I have a Vitamix container. While that's cooking, I'm going to throw up a quick sauce just by putting in this soaked medjool date. In this case, I used the date coconut roll. I'm going to squeeze in a little bit of this lemongrass paste, which is the secret ingredient to making Thai dishes. So lemongrass paste goes in. That's it. I'm done. And then I'm going to put a little peanut butter in there. Got to get a spoon. Excuse me. So I'm going to put some peanut butter in, and don't forget I have the date, I have the lemongrass paste, I have the peanut butter, and I'm always going to add a little bit of another nut in there to balance it. So I'm going to add a little bit of another nut, preferably the king of nuts, which is walnuts, the king of nuts, because they're high in those omega-3 fatty acids. I'm going to throw some walnuts into my peanut butter, still has a peanut buttery taste. And then I got the date in there, now I'm going to add the spices, a little bit of turmeric, and just a touch of cumin. All right, it's ready to go. I can add a little bit of liquid to that. In this case, I have that hemp milk right here, or a little bit of soy milk. Blend that up, make a great sauce. And I have a so simple 4-ingredient Thai peanut sauce for my vegetables. By the time I blended this sauce on the Vitamix, I blended this in and scooped it out, I can mix it right in there with the vegetables, and they've already cooked enough right now. They've already cooked for a few minutes, starting to soften. And when you wok vegetables, that's the healthiest way to cook vegetables because it retains the flavor. You only have to retains those phytochemicals because you're only cooking them for 5 or 6 minutes. And then I can blend this up, add enough liquid so it blends smoothly and gets creamy. And I can pour that on top of my vegetables, mix it up, and I have my Thai vegetable dish really simply made. And we even make some sauces. I'm going to shut that off because this is not, I really don't want to demonstrate the cooking. I may have that noise. I want to just discuss some of these techniques I use tonight. And a lot of times that's why, after all the cooking that we do in our house, why we actually develop these sauces. We have a mushroom Alfredo sauce, a Thai curry sauce, which I just did kind of and a Mexican ole sauce, which means that it's so simple for people. If they don't have time to cook, they can just take some chopped vegetables, put them in a pot, in a wok like this, put the flame on with a quarter cup of water, mix it up for a few minutes, and then take in 2 heaping tablespoons of one of these sauces. Here I have the Thai curry sauce. Can't open it. Just kidding, I could open it if I wanted to. All right, so here I have the Mexican ole. Here I have the Thai curry sauce. There There it is. So how strong I was opening that. All right, here's the Thai curry sauce. So instead, if I didn't make the Thai dressing, I could have had it made already for myself. I just got the water in there. I'm just going to scoop on just a couple of spoonfuls of that Thai curry sauce. I did 2.5 tablespoons of that in there. And now, if I was going to make that for the dinner for the family tonight, I put the flame, get it on a high flame. It already has the 1/4 cup of water in there. It's already been cooking for a few minutes. I'm just going to continue to mix that around with that Thai curry sauce I mixed in there. Let it cook for another 5 minutes. And you see how simple that was? There's the dinner already made. Was that tough? You just open it, and we have these, you know, the Mexican ole is a little spicy, and we have the mushroom Alfredo sauce. Of course, these are made without any oil, without any salt, without any cheese. They're all vegan and natural ingredients. It's amazing how good they taste. And how easy it is to make these foods and to cook, of course, make things quick and easy. That's the point. Quick and easy and delicious too. Everybody likes apple pie or mold, right? You know what else everybody likes? Chocolate custard and chocolate pudding. My kids already love it. Remember, chocolate pudding and chocolate custard is a great food, and here's a delicious chocolate pudding I might have for dinner. But you know what? This is low in calories, it's very light, it's not filling. It's even good for people who are diabetic. It's even good for people who can lose weight. You know why? Secret ingredients. I'll tell you the secret ingredients. This is a very light and low-calorie chocolate pudding, healthy. I'm going to shut this off again. And here's the secret ingredient. The secret ingredient in this chocolate pudding is aquafaba. Now, do you know what aquafaba is? You know, when you buy beans in those containers, the boxes or cans, and unsalted beans, you don't want to throw away the bean water, because the bean water has tons of nutrients in it. And you can put it in your soups. You could make quiche out of it. You could make vegetable dishes. I could have poured the bean water into the wok with these vegetables. I could have added to the wok vegetable sauce, or I could have blended the water into the Thai sauce I made right over here for the vegetables. But today, I'm going to use the aquafaba to make this chocolate pudding, because when you whip up aquafaba with an egg beater, look what happens. In other words, when you whip up, look what happens. Nothing. It's starting to go. See, it's whipping up into whipped cream. So I probably whip it up a little more, but as you can see, it gets frothy, it gets foamy, it turns into whipped cream as you whip it. So I have this whipping cream. It really doesn't have much flavor. I can take now the whipping cream that I made, and I can add it to a Vitamix. I mean, if I had a clean Vitamix, I'd add it and show you, but let's just make believe. So I'm adding this aquafaba into this cup, which is my Vitamix, let's say, and now I'm putting in some soaked medjool dates in there. Just 2 medjool dates, I'm going to make enough for 2 people. Or 4 people even, 4 servings with 2 medjool dates. It's only half a date per person, only 40 calories per person, or 35 calories a person. And then I'm going to put the little bit of vanilla bean powder in, and cocoa powder, and an unsweetened cocoa powder I'm going to put in there too. So I add the date, the cocoa powder, and then you put that in the refrigerator, and from the whipped cream with the aquafaba, and look how it hardens into this nice pudding. See how that hardens into that nice pudding? Look at that. It's amazing. It's made with the juice of the bean and cocoa, and it's not that sweet because we only put in like 2 medjool dates for like 4 servings, only half a date, and cocoa powder. Light, airy. It's like eating a light, a chocolate souffle or something. It's really incredible. Or another way you can make it is with agriflakes. Very important, because agriflakes, you just add a teaspoon of agriflakes into a little bit of water, like a half a cup of water. Teaspoon to a half a cup of water, melt it in there, and mix that in with the same ingredients to make a chocolate pudding. But you can make a strawberry pudding, a peach pudding, a black cherry pudding. You add a little bit, you just partially pulse the fruits in there to get them partially blended and partially lumpy. You put the agriflakes in, you put a little liquid in there, you put it in the refrigerator, and the agar hardens like a jello, and it comes to a light, airy dessert. So there's nothing wrong with having a light, airy, fruity dessert. In the evening after this Nice quick vegetable dish you put together. All right, that's all I had to talk about tonight. Just wanted to give you some of my favorite quick recipes. Lisa, my wife Lisa's here. Can you join us and see if some questions are rolling in, and I can deal with some questions people are asking? I didn't know the phone could do Facebook Live and could take a call at the same time. Wow.
You keep the book over there.
Yeah. All right, so are people asking me questions yet?
Yeah. So I have, you didn't measure each ingredient when talking about it. So why is that?
I hate measuring. I like to, you know, it's funny because some people like to follow recipes and I like to just make food and I'll try it with a little more of this or a little less of this. I just like to just throw it in there without measuring. It's to me, it's too, it's very exacting and precise, and I just like to do it just by the eyeballing it, you know, just from experience. So you like to measure, all the measurements are in the books and things and on the website, of course, but with me, I can just go by experience and just put it like you know, whatever I think is the right amount.
Another person asked, why the bottled foods? Why not, I suppose they're asking, why not Whole Foods? Why are you promoting bottled?
What bottled foods? Do you mean the stuff
I guess the sauces.
The sauce that we make?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like we make soups, but I mostly eat soups in the house that we home make ourselves, but sometimes you're in a rush, right? Yeah. And you want to be quick. And a lot of people, the obstacle to them staying on a nutritarian diet is not having things that can be prepared easy for people on the run. So these are super healthy foods, prepared foods. In other words, they're made with no unhealthy ingredients, all whole foods, like tomatoes and garlic and onion and fresh spices. So they're made and whole nuts and seeds are the only, we make small runs of products for our particular clients because they want these foods that make their life, the foods and the products that make their life easy and simple. And they're not, you know, and sometimes, and so we cater to that market to make the quality of, you know, the quality of products that you could buy in a store because they wouldn't sell to the general public because they don't have oil and salt in them. They're made such a high standards of health excellence. So they make it so it's convenient for people to eat healthy. But if it's always better to make things fresh on your own if you have the time to do that, sure.
Right. So there's no oil. So you don't, somebody was asking about olive oil and you're definitely not for olive oil, and I think they're asking why.
Yes, right. Well, the question is, do we eat walnuts or do we eat walnut oil? Do we eat sesame seeds or do we eat sesame seed oil? Do we eat almonds or do we eat almond oil? When you eat the whole nut or seed, you get profound health benefits and longevity promoting benefits that include lower risk of cardiac arrhythmias, sudden cardiac death, lower rates of cancer, absorption of phytochemicals, and the calories in nuts and seeds are not all biologically available. In other words, the part of the calories pass through into the toilet and they're slowly absorbed over hours, so you burn them for energy. When you eat the oil, the walnut oil, or the olive oil, which is 120 calories per tablespoon, then the oil rushes into your body in 3 to 5 minutes because it comes in such a big load at one time, the body can't burn it, it has to store it. So it gets stored as fat. That's what we say from the lips to the hips, within 3 to 5 minutes when you eat oil. Stores fat on your body. That's and the average American consumes about 400 calories a day from oil, and oil doesn't get registered by the brain as calories. In other words, when you eat nuts, the brain senses the calories coming in, and your appestat gets shut off at a certain time. When you
Did you say your appestat?
Appestat.
What's that?
It's that you have a sensation in the body that tells you when you ate enough food, or it tells you to eat more food. And when you have enough food in the body, your body doesn't feel like eating more food. That means the appestat gets turned off. When you eat oil, because there's no fiber, and because it comes in so rapidly, and also it makes you want to eat more food, not less, and it doesn't turn off the appestat. So if I add 2 tablespoons of oil to that deal, I just added 240 calories. But if I added 100 calories from nuts and seeds instead, my appestat would register those calories, and it would shut off eating. But so you're consuming way too many calories, and the average American is significantly overweight. But don't forget, the basic principle of a nutritarian diet is eating foods with a high nutrient per calorie density. More nutrients, less calories extends life. Not more calories. The more calories you eat and the more empty calories you eat, the more you shorten your lifespan. So oil is the perfect food to shorten lifespan. It's concentrated calories, no nutrients, no fiber.
What about, well, first of all, I just want to thank people for sharing the live Facebook that we're doing right now. I see a lot of people are. I want people to know that they can share and how much we appreciate doing that.
Where are the people calling in from? All over the world? Or?
Well, they're not calling in.
Logging in or whatever
they're
doing.
logging in, and it's amazing. This is a tremendous thing that we're doing right here, but they're logging in from all over. I saw somebody from Scotland, Seattle, all over. It's really very heartwarming to see. I know you mentioned oils, but I'm going to say this because somebody brought it up, coconut oil. What about coconut oil? Is that okay?
Well, all oil is 120 calories per tablespoon. Let me ask you the question then. Is coconut oil have fiber in it? Is it rich in phytochemicals that protect cancer? Does it shut off your appetite? Now, if people are anorexic and they can't get enough calories in, or they need the extra calories because they're starving or something, and you're on like naked and alive in the wilderness and you can't find food, then oil could be a good food. But then the coconut would be a better food than coconut oil, because the oil from any food is a processed food. You would eat the coconut. If you were stuck in the woods, you wouldn't eat coconut oil. You'd be removing the fiber and throwing away the good part of the coconut. The point I'm making right now is that the omega-3 fatty acids, the most beneficial nuts are walnuts and hemp seeds, flax seeds, chia seeds, with profound and documented anti-cancer effects. When women take in these lignin and omega-3 fatty acids, they have lower rates of breast cancer. If they have breast cancer, it accelerates. They don't have recurrence of the breast cancer. In other words, these are very protective, longevity-promoting foods. You can't say the same thing from oil, and you certainly can't say the same thing for coconut oil. It's not a superfood. It's not linked to lower rates of cancer. There's no documentation it's a health food. It's just internet talk and chatter and meaningless promotion about coconut oil that has no scientific foundation. So the point is, high fiber, high nutrient foods, all oil, that includes flaxseed oil, olive oil, and coconut oil, are concentrated calories, and most Americans are overweight. The average American woman weighs 168 pounds. The average American is consuming 400 calories of oil a day, and they're not working behind a plow 8 hours a day, burning calories in the field. They're sitting down doing desk jobs most often, and they're overweight. So how does putting oil on your food make sense when you have too much fat on your body already?
Somebody asked, which I can answer, can you buy our products in Canada? And I could say that we don't sell them in Canada, but we sell them to Canada. So we do international orders, and somebody asked that. Somebody does want you.
We'll ship to Canada.
We'll ship to Canada. Somebody does want you to come to their house, if possible, and cook for them.
Absolutely.
So I thought I would tell you that.
Well, I got a better idea. Instead of me having to travel to your house, why don't you guys come to our house? We'll serve you. We'll come over here for dinner next week.
Absolutely. That would be a great idea. I think we're good with the questions. I just want to say there's Florida, there's Oklahoma, there was British Columbia. Everybody, I just want to say hello. We're so happy that you're tuning in, and I'm thrilled.
Right.
Somebody did say they'll come for dinner.
All right.
All right, so that's about it.
Okay, take care, everybody. Wishing you great health and much happiness always, and thanks for tuning in to this Facebook Live, our third Facebook Live event.
All right, we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.